I am at the Lamplighters Music Theater in San Francisco for a fitting session before the San Francisco Ars Minerva brings to the stage Ercole Amante, or Hercules in Love, an opera that blends both French and Italian musical styles.
And the score itself is kind of a challenge because she was an Italian composer who lived and worked in Paris and absorbed the French style, and so it's kind of a combination, an odd combination really, of both French and Italian traits around the turn of the 18th century.
Tu non hai ben compreso, semplicetto garzone.
Here, the team is reviewing music notes, going over lyrics, and trying on costumes. Marina is a costume designer.
For Zach, I started with his image because he has such a beautiful body, and I wanted to show it. And because he was very comfortable with it, it worked for both of us. For Delilah, it was much more complicated. Also, I didn't do any sketches for her costume. I had this image in my mind, her to be soft and romantic and beautiful and young, and this is why I use like white and those colors.
Some say this opera has never been performed before. Now, 318 years after it was composed by Antonia Bembo, Ercole Amante is about to receive its first staging under the direction of Céline Ricci.
Some people say that it might have been performed in 1707, but other people say no. So I think that this has actually never been performed on stage.
Ricci imagining this production since 2018. Ercole Amante was written in 1707.
It feels great to be a female director and founder of an opera company, and so to be able to bring on stage for the first time an opera by a female composer. So I think this makes me really relieved and happy that finally we are at a place where we can do that and help even the voices of other women that were buried in the past centuries.
She considers the work a tragic comedy, a mix of dark emotion and humor. The production will feature projections inspired by early 18th century. Joe is responsible for the translation and adaptation of the opera. First, he received the words.
So it's got the F's that look like S's and the U's that look like V's, and so you have to decipher all that first.
Then he started transcribing it until he had a clean version to work from.
The first thing I do after that is I translate it pretty literally so that the singers will know more or less what they're singing. You can't translate it absolutely literally because it's not going to make any sense.
During rehearsals, he condensed the translation to fit the staging
into something that that will serve eventually as a basis for the super titles. But it's basically taking what they're doing on stage and how Céline has interpreted what they're supposed to do. Because sometimes, there have been times when I've seen something as a joke and she says no, and other times I said, well, isn't this really serious? She said, no, it's a joke. So really I have to work with that with the language.
I asked him how he feels to see his work come alive on stage.
I have never seen any of our shows all the way through except on video.
He and the rest of the team are making sure everything is ready for the big nights to come.
That this is a piece that's definitely worth seeing. It's by a woman about whom we know very little in the late 17th, early 18th century. It's the story of a man who does wrong and gets what he deserves, which for a female composer is kind of a nice twist.
Yeah.
And it's filled with some beautiful tunes.
You can see Ercole Amante this weekend at the ODC Theater in San Francisco.